What kind of mindset are you bringing to the gym each and every time you walk through the doors? In the Weathered Warriors, on a Monday and a Friday, we do five-minute rounds of highly intense training where you will leave everything. Now, in those 5 minutes, there are multiple opportunities for every one of us to come up with an excuse to not push ourselves any further, to stop and have a rest. And the whole focus, the whole aim of it is for you to recognize when you're making these excuses, when you're falling prey to the story in your head, and to plot a path to overcome that. Because that is how you become stronger, both physically and mentally. Now, I'm not saying push yourself to injury, but I am saying there's a difference between you discovering your absolute maximum capacity for work and things are getting difficult and you want to have a rest. Every one of us is capable of much more than we currently believe we are. Our ability to push through the difficulties and the challenges is based upon how often we push ourselves into positions where that experience is a reality. And when we get to that point where we are challenged and we are pushing ourselves to that dark place, that's an opportunity for us to overcome. That's an opportunity for us to then change our conversation in our heads and do something differently. And the more we do that, the more repetitively we come to those points and we change the conversation so that we find a way to keep going, the more that becomes part of us and the stronger we become mentally. And the stronger we become mentally, the more we're capable of doing physically. This is the difference between you and the guy that you admire, the man that never quits, the man that you watch when you're resting and he's not stopping. And you're thinking to yourself, I wish I could do that. Newsflash, you can. Maybe not right now, but you can make a decision to aim to get to that place. And you get to there just like lifting weights, through repetition, through commitment, through self-discipline. Now, when it comes to me and my training, I have cultivated this conversation in my head and it snaps me out of the victim story and it puts me straight back into the ownership place. I do 3, 2, 1, go. So there comes a point unconsciously your body will stop. Your mind will stop you because it's exhausted. It wants out of there. It's not enjoying what it's doing. And you will wallow in that place for a while. But the key is to not focus on, oh shit, I'm being a victim, but instead to recognize when you're doing that and change it to have a conversation or a line that snaps you out of it. For me, it's 3, 2, 1, go. So when I find myself taking too much rest and I know that I've recognized, shit, I'm fucking falling prey to this, I automatically go to this 3, 2, 1, go. And that overtakes my focus. I then get straight back into lifting weights, whatever it is I'm doing, and I repeat that over and over again. And the more you do this, the better you become at not allowing yourself to fall prey to the whole stories. And what you need to recognize is the more and more you do that, the closer you're coming to becoming the man you're chasing, the man you desire to be. And no one else can do this for you. You're the only man that will get you to where you want to be. And when you recognize that the stories of justification, and notice who you're telling the stories to, because loads of guys will tell other guys in the gym why they're doing what they're doing, but they won't tell me because they know I'll just call them out in their shit. The 1 p.m. session is, I call it the invitationals. It's a group of guys who are very like my mindset. And when we're at that, when we start falling victim, the others just abuse the shit out of us because we don't want to hear your victim story, because that victim story is a cancer in the class. What we want are men who are ready to own their shit, and if you fall victim to it, be prepared to be slagged in a good way. But it eliminates that story and instead focus your mind on understanding you've got to do what you got to do.